So guys, speaking about mobile, we all know how to build applications. It could be like any application like this one. Imagine it is like YouTube or Netflix or whatever. We have Rails, we have tiles, we can click, open movie, and so on. I mean, nothing special. You can see it is scrollable vertically, scrollable horizontally. Amazing, works. But then we are getting another challenge when customer came to us and asked to build the same application or use the same code for TVs. And happens so that TV is completely different experience. First, you're understanding that you can't really navigate TV the same way. Yeah, we are not really scared of that challenge, and we build application that's completely the same, exactly the same application built for TV. It is real TV, so. But something is really wrong here, and you can imagine that in this application we can't really do much. This is really remote. That's the only handler we have for TVs. Yeah, we need to do some adjustments. We're going to settings and I'm enabling TV navigation. You probably noticed one thing changed for sure. We have navigation on the side. Oh yes, you can't see it here. Yeah, you won't see icons, that's completely fine. You will see text. This is now bar. I don't know why it is screening this way. One thing changed just to make it possible to navigate and to work with this application. And now it is a completely different perspective I want to bring to you. Of course, it is usable. Yes, I made it usable for the sake of using at least somehow. You can see navigation right now, luckily. Let's go to home screen, the same screen. It doesn't look amazing. It is usable though. We can go back and forth. I don't like it. Still, going back to settings, let's enable some features. Let's say this is enough. I don't know if it's enough or not. Yeah, okay, we can see difference now. It's still not amazing. We can kind of navigate. It's still bad user experience. At least as for me, it is bad. We're going back to features in settings. Can we see settings? But yeah, settings are still here. So enabling one more feature and, sorry, just losing focus, and changing scale for you to be able to see the text and to see the content. Let's get back home. A bit different right now. Content is still not perfect. Going back to settings, I think that's the last adjustment. I'm just increasing number of tiles per screen. Let's go back. Now we can say it is kind of a TV experience. We have navigation on the side. We have main area, the main page where you can see the, I don't know, like image of the movie. You can see title, you can see subtitle and other badges. Then you can see also rails, and these rails are navigable. You can easily navigate them, like going right, left. They are disappearing, and kind of a good experience so far. That's where we're going to start diving into what I did, why I did this way, and what kind of magic is hidden behind. Let's go to disclaimer first. So this presentation is made for entertainment and educational purposes only. Style is not consistent. Not all the best practices are met here or used here, of course. It is what it is. It is just to show, it is made for the sake of showing what we really can do with Flutter to make application work on TV with the same code base we already have for mobile and web. And of course, a bit about myself. My name is Vadim Pinchuk. Came here all the way from London. I live in London and originally I'm from Ukraine. Moved here like 4 years ago. I'm software development consultant worked in different companies. Right now I'm working at the company I'm not going to say, not for the record. And I'm also GD in Flutter and Dart. That's it. Yeah, that's my visit card. And if you are going to scan it, there is in the bottom the whole code sample of this application, because this is just an application. It's not a presentation. Going back to the information. So I call it Flutter Focus Fun because it's really a big fun. It's a joy to work with Focus System because it's madness as well. But right now we will go piece by piece into the components, we need to understand how they work and how to combine them together to make this application work. Keywords. I will probably mention many times today things like tile. Tile is the simple square component you can see on the screen. We can also see, oh, yeah, now need to focus. Intercepting focus system. Okay, I will go without it. We can also see rails. Rail is a complete scrollable component. We can also see the page. Page is the full screen experience. On the left, you can see some key terms like focus. Focus is something we are getting on currently interactable component. Focus state is actually its state. And focus node is something makes it possible. It's not really a Flutter widget. Focus node is just a separate thing, but we will go through it step by step. Where we are, why should we care about it? We should care about focus because first and first, it's a pointer for your keyboard. This is just a simple keyboard. It's keyboard from this side as well, but any remote is just a keyboard, and you have just 4, in best case 5 keys, just to navigate with it. Also, focus makes it possible to use application for users with disabilities, because focus makes it possible to use application with any assistive technologies, because not all the technologies are like, not all the people can use it with a screen, with even this remote, like joystick, something else is usable with focus. Also, focus powers up desktop and web, because on web, surprisingly for me it was, on web we can also navigate with arrows and tabs. And usually we don't use it this way, but some people still use. And in the end, focus enables 10-foot experience. Yep, sorry, I was just checking where it is. Now I found it. Going forward, as we are speaking about Flutter here, it's one code base but multiple user experiences. Mobile, web, and in this case, let's say TV. I mean, it's kind of desktop application because under the hood TV is just Linux or whatever. How to approach these things? Of course, we have platform-specific widgets, and then we have a wrapper for all the platform-specific widgets based on your experience or based on your platform. You can use one or another experience. Why I'm saying experience? Because Android and iOS is more or less the same. It's still mobile. It's mobile user experience. On web, you can also have mobile user experience if it is mobile on web, or web on mobile device. And on TV, it's always TV. There are different systems, there are different system settings, and there are different theme configurations which can be applicable for different experiences as well. So it's kind of unavoidable. Over the code base, we can find these multiple times. Then, responsive size. What you've seen in the beginning was not responsive sizing. Because if on mobile it looks pretty fine, we have like 5 rails or 6 rails with 2 elements on the screen. On the wider screens, on the bigger screens, it looks really ugly. We have like 4 tiles mostly, at most 4 tiles, and it's not usable. That's why responsive sizing is needed, and based on the screen size and user experience, we can adjust our experience, adjust our UI. That's what I did in the end. I increased number of tiles to be shown per screen. It means, actually, I said like, we have this width, we can divide it for 9 tiles equally with space in between them. That's it. And now our tile is resized respectively with a proper aspect ratio. Right, and navigation. Navigation, probably that's what we started from. Navigation on mobile is not built for remotes. Bottom navigation bar is built for thumbs. For remotes, we need to make our own navigation system. Yeah, you can also reuse drawer. Yeah, drawer is possible kind of option for this use case, or you can make it your own yourself. And here we are. designing for 10-foot experiences. That's what you're doing right now, is kind of 10-foot experience. It's like, or more or less average 10-foot, closer or further. Probably you don't see it really clearly, but I will speak it out loud. 10-foot experience is when user leaning back, relaxing, not focusing specifically on icons, text, not reading all the stuff. They just taking this little thing and occasionally navigating, scrolling up, down, opening stuff, going back. Pretty it. I mean, opening stuff, watching movie, going back. That's pretty it. And we are starting with this. Let's focus on core components. As I said, I will say word focus many times today. So let's focus on focus. What is the core component? We have atom. Atom is focus node. As any other node today, they are kind of very, oh, someone coming. They are very important pieces because they're kind of change notifiers. So they really know when they are focused, when they're interactive, and they can let our system know about it. So they're not attached to Flutter at all. It's change notifier. It's like yeah, listenable thing. But to make it work, we have a cool thing, which is called focus. Again, sorry for that, but yeah, I will say that a lot of times. Focus is a widget. So speaking about node, which can be focusable, it can say like, yeah, I'm interactive right now because someone decided to make me interactive. And focus is a widget which builds in focus node into the tree, which attach or detach it to the life cycle. It can also like be kind of manager of the focus node. It gives us callbacks like key press. It gives us a callback like focus changes. Pretty simple. Under the hood, it's not really complex. It's just like working machine or working soldier, workhorse. I call it here workhorse. We can live with this. We can go just further, but I think it's not really enough to work with focus and focus node as is, because if it is focusable, it doesn't mean we can see it. So it's up to us to make to the user it's visible. Like system knows that right now this component is interactive, but users can't see it. That's what we faced probably in the very beginning. We haven't seen what is focusable and where we're navigating, where we are on the screen. So comparing to the keyboard, keyboards has a pointer. Yeah, you've probably seen it. That's a pointer. We need to make it visible. Don't limit yourself with colors only. On focus change, you can make different color. You can increase scale. You can resize. You can do whatever you want, actually. You can increase font weight, and so on, like up to you, whatever you want, or whatever designers will decide to make it visible to the users. Until it is visible, until it is not visible, it's not usable. We are going that far. Cool thing, now we are focused, we have tile, but what to do with this keyboard? As I said, focus widget is giving us actually callbacks on any key presses. Until well, if we don't use them, it's completely fine because someone on the top of the widget tree is actually using and handling the key presses. But you can make it really nice way on your own. And for example, this OK button is enter key. The same enter key we have on the laptop. What we can do, we can just listen on the key press in our focus widget. Cool thing is there could be, or there can be, only one focused widget on the screen. There can be an option like 2 focused widgets. So only one is focused, only one is getting key events. If it's not handling, it's popping it up to the application. And it's kind of straightforward way. You can listen it straight away, or you can just pop it up to the application, and the application have default shortcuts. So application is actually converting your key input to intents. Intents convert pop down to the focused widget, and focused widget actually popping it up by the tree to actions to convert it to the action, which is more scalable, a bit better, reusable approach. So we have two different things. I will explain how to use both of them. No need to be scared. Yeah, it's a lot of information, I know. Simple way. Let's imagine we have 4 arrow keys and enter in the middle. What we can do? We can just declare a callback or enable callback on key event. On this key event, we will get, yeah, you can see the code sample, by the way. I forgot that I have it. On this key event, we will intercept key down or key up. If it is up, we don't care. We should ignore it. If it is down, that's when we are interested. As soon as you press the button, we need to do something. If you released, we don't care anymore. And then you're just checking the key, the keyboard key. So it's key enter or key arrow up or key arrow down. You can do whatever you want and call different callbacks or perform different actions. Straightforward, but not scalable because, for example, you decided to intercept back key on your widget, but then on back, actually, we should return back to the previous screen, and we are not able to do so because we handled. And our widget is actually said like, yeah, we are done with this key. So it's not scalable, and it could cause different confusions in a scaling product when you have a lot of code. Some keys are not going up to the application, and you are not really sure why somewhere someone is intercepting it. That's why there is a different, smarter way, a bit more scalable. What do? We just don't intercept keys. We are letting the key event go all the way up to the application, and application have default shortcuts. What it means? Application said like, oh, if it is back key, then we definitely need to say like to send the back intent. Intent is what we want to do. Back intent, like we have an intent to return back. Then it returns this intent all the way to the focus node. And focus node like, cool, I have intent. I have no idea what to do with it because I'm super stupid. And it pops it up again to the first closest actions. Actions is a widget which converts intent to real action. So what we want to do to how we want to do it. And then like in this actions widget, you can actually say like, I want to go back by popping the navigation stack, for example. Or I want to go back by returning to the previous cell or tile. So it's up to the actions widgets right now to decide what to do. Sorry, how to do it. Not going to speak much about the code. I will show the diagram. This is how it works. It's reverse tree, right? I think it's reverse tree. So on top we have applications. The shortcuts widget is default widget we have in our material application, or you can also declare your shortcuts widget. How it works? Our focused tile on the bottom is actually triggering the key event and pops it all the way up to shortcuts. Shortcuts creates intent, pops it down to the focused widget. Intent popped up to the first action widget. Kind of moving back and forth, but in the end, we are doing things in a really nice way, because if you decided to handle some key on some place, you'll need to implement this logic again and again and again in different places, which is not really nice. Then you will need to test it in different places, while you can have all the shortcuts and all the actions in one place and handle them straight away. More scalable, more, I would say, advanced and preferable way to handle key presses. And probably that's how it works by default, because by default, the thing works. I mean, if you don't declare any key event handler, this thing still works, because there are default mappers, thanks to Flutter. And also there are some interesting things like these callback shortcuts, like we have a lot of different widgets. Instead of having key listener on focus widget, we can have key listener widget, which is kind of nothing but just listening. Under the hood, it's still the focus widget. We can have callback shortcuts widget, but under the hood, it's still the same thing. It's like just to make our life easier, when you can use it, if you, for example, want to handle some specific case, like here I did, I think, button 9 or digit 9 is to show the focus debugger. I will show it later. just for you to know, we have these kind of options. And speaking about all these amazing things, like you can imagine how bad your code will look like if you have for mobile one thing, for web and desktop another thing, but in the end, you can have just one widget, and this widget is default. It's default in the Flutter framework. It's called Focusable Action Detector. It has everything inside. It has something for web, something for mobile, and something for TV. And probably if it is web with touchscreen, it will be even better because it has everything all together. Or even TV with touchscreen. I don't know if these things exist actually, but on the code sample, you can see what it does. It has mouse region for us to interact when pointer moves in. Why it is important for mobile? Because mobile applications still can be used with keyboard. Some users still can use assistive technologies for mobile applications, and they will have the same pointer we used to have on web. They will have the same thing. Yeah, this one. They will have the same thing. And we need to show to the user that this widget is currently interacted with, where we're interacting with. Focus, for the sake of navigation, that's what we said already. We have actions here straight away and shortcuts. Order is important. Focus widget should be below actions. Actions always higher. And shortcuts always higher than actions. So shortcuts, action, focus, mouse region, doesn't matter. It should be somewhere. This is the beast. This is the cool beast. And as you can see, it is configurable. So if you don't have actions, it will not add actions in your widget tree. So feel free to use, or if you haven't heard about it, it's an amazing thing to investigate for you. We are done with this magical thing, and we can say we are good. There is a big picture, a bigger at least. And Bender says like some theory is hidden behind these like graphs or behind this focus and focus node and all the magic I've explained right now. And big picture is, here we are handling this with some guy on top. There is like a boss, super boss. How it handles? It handles in the same way as we're handling widgets. So we are building the same trees. Probably you know right now 2, 3, 4 trees. Focus, element, and render object. Semantic tree is also there, and focus node tree is also there. At least 5 trees we have. That's how it's built. Some widgets are just not made for focus system. For example, container. It shouldn't be focusable until we made it focusable. Buttons or any other interactive widgets, they are focusable, so they have a focus wrapper inside, a focus widget inside. And at this point of time, we have a tree which is built not completely the same way as the widget tree, because you can see right here 7 widgets, but in our focus tree we'll have only 4 nodes. 4 nodes will be for road, page, for our form or whatever else interactive. It's going to be also focus node, and then for 2 buttons. 2 buttons are actually where we can interact with, what we can interact with. Why road and form are also in the focus node tree? Because they are scopes. It means currently we are on this page, we are focused on this page, and we can't leave from this page. Like we can't actually lose our focus from here. We will always have focus on this page because it's active currently. That's why a root, the whole reason of root is actually to catch the focus and say like we are interactive now, because we are navigated, we are active, and we are interactive. That's what we get. That's how Flutter builds focus tree. I mean, traversing through widget tree is not that hard to build focus tree, right? And that's what we can see from that tree. I will show you actually how it looks like on the screen, but if you want to dump your focus tree, you will see who is focused, who is in the focus path, and you will see all these focus scopes as well. But it's like it looks super massive. If you have a massive application with really deep widget tree, you will have massive focus dump as well. So it doesn't look really amazing until we will enable it with our button, number 9. No, shift 9. Here we are. That's how focus looks on the UI, like for us to represent for those who are debugging. The first one, the red box, is currently focused widget. The one who keeps the primary focus, the one who is interactive. 2, 3, and 4, like green, blue, and the yellow, the ones who are in focus path, they can be focused, but better not to keep focus on them because they're actually just wrappers over the whole screen, and they should not keep the primary focus until we really lose focus on our button. For example, button disappeared, we lose focus, so focus goes to the whole page. Nothing super special, but we will go. Focus moves to another thing, and of course, for the sake of making our presentation pleasant further, I will disable it. Focus Manager, the guy who lives on top and who manages the whole system. Focus Manager can see the whole screen, the whole viewport, and Focus Manager can understand what widgets are focusable, what widgets are not, manage them, sort them. That's what it does. The cool thing, we can rely on it if we have simple UIs. The bad thing, first, it is singleton. Second thing, in complex UIs like TV, we can't rely on Focus Manager because it makes sorting of all the widgets, and it's not really comfortable. It is there, and it is like, I can request focus. I can redirect focus from this one to this one because I decided that I've sorted focus nodes like this, and I will do this way. And then like, why it goes to the right if it should go to the bottom, for example, if you're pressing the bottom arrow, just because Focus Manager decided this way, because Focus Manager sorted this way. And that's where all the tricky things happening. If you know the focus system, how it works, if you read Focus Manager code, how it sorts, how it actually distributes or navigates focus, probably you haven't heard about another amazing thing like focus traversal policy. And we will go there further. I'm just checking time as well. Yeah, I'm good. It sounds boring because you haven't seen how it works. It works really like a nightmare. But there are also tools to make life easier, and this section specifically about those tools. This is like series 4 or episode 4, I don't know. Yeah, series 4. Traversal control. If we rely on Focus Manager, it works if we, for example, have a vertical list of items. So there is no navigation to the right or to the left. We are going up and down. It works as magic. But if we have something more complex, like we have this menu, then we have on the right horizontal scrollable, and then scrolling vertically between rails, that's where all the complexities are happening. We can actually do that manually. We can manually navigate and check where we are on the screen. Currently focused widget can know or can get its own rectangle where we are on the screen. Then we can get all the widgets on the screen. We can sort them out, like whoever further, whoever like before, behind or above, whoever on the left, whoever on the right, and then decide where to go. It's not that hard, to be honest. We can do that. It's not very practical. In some cases, specific cases, I mean, it's still doable and it is still cool. I'll show where exactly. But there is another thing. We can scope our stuff. So we are clearly defining zones. And these zones saying like, we will navigate our own way, you will navigate your own way. How to achieve that is actually focus scopes. That's what I said before. We have focus scope node. Scope is just saying like, we are a group. We are living in our own environment. We are navigating under our own rules, and we don't care whatever happens outside. And only leader of the group decides where to go, up or down, or left or right. This specific example is actually our application. On the left, we have scope for menu. On the right, for the grid. As you can see, on the left, we have just vertical navigation, so it's super simple. Here, we can finally declare another focus node. It is called focus scope node. Under the hood, it's again focus node. So it's still the same, change notify, it knows where, or like if it is on the focus path or not. It knows if it is focused or if anything in it focused. Yeah, not to confuse you much more with focus, focus, focus. As I said, Flutter focus fun. Just another focus node. The cool thing, we should make it not primarily focused. So we shouldn't lose focus. We should not, but we still can. It happens. And you might find yourself in a situation where you don't know where you are currently. For the sake of that, we have a focus scope widget. The same analogy, focus and focus node, focus scope node. It is actually just group. I mean, whatever container you have, rail can be a focus scope. The whole page with rails can be focus scope. Your menu can be focus scope. The cool thing, what you can do is actually just navigate between scopes. So that's what I did in my example. To navigate between two scopes is super simple. If you didn't handle navigation inside of scope, the key event pops up to the scope. And then scope like, yeah, okay, I have navigation to the left. It's not handled inside. What should I do? Okay, on the left, I have actually another scope, so I can go to that scope, and that scope will decide what to do with navigation, or actually what to focus on. This thing is cool because it keeps the state. It knows where the focus was. For example, let me show this one. Right now, we are on the item 4.5, and this is content focus scope. And I'm going to the menu by a menu button. How I've done it, like menu says like navigate to menu, intent, and action says like focus scope, get the focus. So this one loses, that one gets. Then I'm going to the right, and menu doesn't have an option to navigate to the right. So it actually says like, I have no idea what to do. Please sort it out for me. And we are going back to this focus scope. We are still on the previous position. And probably if you are handling that with standard focus manager, navigation to the right would go probably to 4.1 because it's a bit further than our currently focused widget. But right now we are focusing back on the previously focused one. Yeah, that's a group. It can actually say like we are not letting out focus state outside until we decided to do so, and decision is completely up to us. But they don't really know how to navigate inside. And for that, we have a focus traversal group. Group is nothing but like, hey guys, I'm here to help. I have some rules. Here is the rules, and you will navigate according to these rules. That's it. Like, you're living in your own community. You decided these are your, or like, I'm saying these are your rules. Like laws, actually. Like, yeah, you're living in UK. We have laws here, and we should obey them. That's pretty it. But if you are living in community in Leeds or in London, it's completely up to you. But still the same laws. Focus traversal group as is not that useful, but it can have a policy, and this is a set of rules. Policy is kind of super simple thing. It says like we can sort items, how to navigate them, we can navigate directionally, and we can find the first focused. First focused will be previously focused or actually the first widget. That's it. So if you haven't had focus in this group, it will go to the first item. If you had focus in this group, it will go to the previously focused. Super easy. Policies are available. There is reading order traversal policy, widget order traversal policy, other order traversal policy, up to you. Reading order is super simple. Left to right, top to bottom. Like, I mean, yeah, not everyone reading the same way, but that's what Flutter framework developer decided to do. And that's how it navigates. I didn't show that to you, not to make it a bit harder for you to understand, but reading order traversal policy, as I said, goes left to right, top to bottom. So arrows are showing how do we navigate with our arrow keys. Nothing special. We are going down. We are on the next tile below. We are going to the right. Amazing, we are going to the right. But then we don't have anything on the right. What should we do? The thing is, Focus Manager actually sorts everything from left to right, from top to bottom, and the first item on the right will be actually item on top right, not the bottom right. So that's how it goes. But it's not always like that. If you will decide to go bottom, or to go down, actually, you see it jumps over. So it's not saying like, hey, I can go to the previous rail. No, because it's not below. It's like it jumps over the space. Going below again, it jumps over the space. Going to the left works, fine. Going down again jumps over because we don't have any item below us. Going to the right goes fine. Going to the right goes bottom. Why? Why it happens so? Because we already been on the previous one. That's it. Because on the previous, yeah, I will show like this. We already were here, so we're not going there. We are going to the next not visited node. And that's where life becomes much harder. So we can have like set of rules, but these rules are not perfect. And they are not working for us. Pretty like this navigation fields. Like you are going to one direction, but exit in another way. And like this madness, the whole navigation madness, is kind of tricky to understand. Luckily, I'm not leaving you here. I'm not leaving you here. We can do customizations. And these customizations are super simple, like just one file. This is the traversal policy I have in this code sample. And you probably saw it. If you haven't, I will show it again. Going all the way to the right won't navigate you down because we don't have anyone on the right. We are not sorting all the items. We will go down only if we decide to go down. And then if we're going down, where should we land? Should we land on the first or on the last? On the first closest or actually on the first in the rail? That's completely up to us. I decided to land on the first in the rail because if you will go to the first closest, you will shift the whole rail. So you will miss a lot of items. This traversal policy is predictable. These laws are understandable. If you're going right, you're standing in front of the wall, you can't really go down or up. That's it. That's the wall. So if you want to go down, you are going there. And yeah, on the right is amazing code sample. Super simple. This is directional navigation we have. We have just 4 arrows and we have 4 ways to navigate: up, down, left, and right. And for the sake of simplicity, I decided not to sort all the focusable widgets all together. I decided to implement 4 separate functions. So they are 4, they're clearly testable, they are clearly understandable, and I will show this thing. What we have in this function, this one is first in the previous row. It means like we are going up, actually. If you're going up, we actually deciding where we are in the on the screen. We know exact location. We can get, or actually we can just filter out all the tiles below easily. We are not really, we don't need to sort them in a specific way. We can filter out all of them. We can actually take all the tiles on top and find the first one with the X and Y position which satisfies our condition. So if we are going up, it means X could be the same, or X should be the, oh yeah, Y could be the same, but X could be smaller, should be smaller. I have a lot of comments here, of course, but I'm not going to read them. The cool thing, this function is really doing stuff we need. We are cutting off all the nodes we are not supposed to visit, because if you're going right, we are going right. If you're going left, we are going left. It doesn't mean we should go up or down. So this directional navigation is super clear. Cool thing. No, bad thing. Let's speak about bad thing. Bad thing means every time on navigation, I need to cut off things and sort things. I'm not sorting them once. I'm sorting them on each navigation. Means like we are kind of wasting resources. Cool thing, on our screen, we don't have millions of focusable nodes. means we have like probably 100 up to 100, and sorting 100 nodes, super easy. And it's not resource wasteful. Ultimate customization, if you still remember that one, I have a pen and I have an apple, and here I have a focus scope and I have a focus traversal group. We can merge them together, and they will define a specific unique widget for us to define rules and to isolate our focusable area to follow these rules. It means like you have full control and you are not relying on Focus Manager. And if Focus Manager wanna do some madness, some mad navigation, you don't care because you know how this focus scope traversal group should navigate. What I wanna say, yeah, it requires quite some work to make it happen. That's why I'm leaving it for others to play it this way. And as we know something about focus, focus scope, focus node, focus scope node, focus traversal group, focus traversal policy, focus manager, a lot of focus things. Now I think we can focus on the final stuff. Focus is needed. And I'm not speaking about widgets right now. I'm speaking about ability to see where we are on the screen, where we are in the application, and to see it in a different way. If it is screen reader as well, as soon as you focus, you can actually read where you are. If it is visual explanation where we are, don't rely only on color change. Make it scalable, make it bigger, make it clear. You can actually even change opacity so others will be like dimmed and only one guy will be clearly visible on the screen. It's really important. It is foundational and it makes our life easier. Even text field is focusable, so things already focusable, but we just use them as it should be. We never think about other custom widgets. Think in scopes. Try to break your screen on different zones. Different zones have different responsibilities. The same way as menu, yeah, menu is here. The same as menu has its own navigation. Content block has its own navigation. They have different responsibilities. They have different purposes. So try to split your screen. Policies, the one I shown before, like my own grid traversal policy. Policy is a superpower. It's kind of law. You're making your law, which defines how everything works. It's actually not a country law. Probably it's rules how you drive the car. There are specific rules, arrows, lights, all this stuff. It's kind of crucial because in other cases it will be collapsed. These policies are for you to help. You can make one policy and reuse it in different places, or you can make different policies for different use cases. It's completely up to you. And it's not that hard to implement because what I did, I've just extended reading order traversal policy for the sake of simplicity. Don't forget to make it nice. I mean, the reason of this presentation, or the whole idea of this presentation, was to show how UX changes. UI is really bad, I know, because I made it bad intentionally, so for you to focus on important things, on UX, not on UI. Polish it. Make a nice focusable frame. Make nice animation when it is focused, so it's like scalable, whatever. Make it possible for user to understand where they are, how they want to use it, and actually make them want to use it. That's what I wanted to say so far. And oh yeah, probably one thing to show, I will disable this thing. I will disable traversal policy. Here we are, traversal policy. And I will navigate it again with you because I forgot to show that. We are going all the way to the right. We are going all the way to the right. No, nothing to the right. That's good. We are going up to 5. Okay, going all the way to the left. Fine, yeah, it's predictable. Going all the way to the right from this perspective. Kind of not really predictable. And as you can see, we can also jump over. So this thing is messy and not usable, because in our brain we want to know how this works for us to make it possible to use it without like seeing what buttons we are pressing. We want to intuitively press it and know where we're going. Last thing, again, if you want to scan, there is a code sample, like completely work in this application. You can just download it and you can play with it. In this presentation, I have code samples. These code samples are actually taken from this code, and they have a file name and more or less specific line of the code where you can find these code samples. As I said before, it's not always consistent. I'm showing different approaches. I'm showing key handling. I'm showing shortcuts, callback shortcuts. I'm showing proper intent handling. All different ways to work with this application and for you to learn, for you to understand. So you can actually run it. You can go to the same section. You can read the code, understand it. You can understand how it works, and you can see how it works. And if needed, reuse in your application. That's pretty it from my side. Thank you very much. And questions? If you have questions, feel free to ask. Go for it.
I would have questions. I'm sorry to not focus on the talk, but you mentioned at the end about designing good UX for 10-foot content. We know that mobile content has discoverability problems because people don't realize what they can touch and what they can't touch,
Yeah.
stuff like that. What are the techniques you use in 10-foot design to indicate where the focus can go?
Where the focus can go is actually decided by these 4 arrows, but where focus is, currently it is, let me make it a bit bigger because for the sake of saving some space, I make it smaller. I will make it a bit bigger.
What I meant was, like, how would you clue? I suppose you can see at the edge of the screen, like techniques to hint people that things are there.
That things like navigator. I mean, whatever is on the screen, whatever is in viewport, I don't think you should hide anything. I mean, you mean like hide in the navigation bar somehow?
Well, I'm saying what I'm hinting at is that you have to keep everything on the screen and kind of make everything really obvious. You can move between it.
Yeah.
And is there anything extra you need to do there?
There is nothing extra potentially nothing extra we should do. The proper remotes, not like this one, they always have menu button, home button, and their usage is kind of intuitive. If you press home, it should go to the first page, to the topmost. If you press menu, menu should open. So nothing super special. Pressing on menu opens menu. It's like, okay, yeah, it's intuitive. Then pressing on menu again potentially should go back, but yeah, I didn't implement it. But navigation to the left is something we can see on YouTube or other platforms. Navigating to the left right now will open a menu. That's what happens on other platforms. So more or less like unwritten rules probably. Maybe there are some conventions which are written. If they exist, I never saw them.
It's like Nielsen's law. So you basically
Okay.
don't try and reinvent the wheel. Like you try and replicate actions that are already existing in the world. So that sidebar being on the left
Yeah.
is a common convention that you see everywhere. So users already are taught subconsciously that there will probably be a sidebar on the left.
Yeah. Good to learn the name for it. Thank you very much. When sidebar is on the top, I mean navigation bar, it's not sidebar anymore. There is a thing. Pressing on back actually should go to the thing, to the navigation bar, and it's not something new we should implement, because if we implemented something new, users won't be comfortable. They got used to this way of doing things or using things, and probably it's better to follow the same rules. I think UX designers are here to help. I'm not a UX designer, sadly, but as a user, as a person who has TV and uses TV, that's what I do. Like, okay, going to the left goes to menu, pressing home goes to home.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
You say we manage it with the keys you have in the remote. How about the multiple options? Let's say we have a computer or TV is connected with remote Also, it's operating from Bluetooth and also it operates from a keyboard at the same time.
The thing is, if it is keyboard, it's still the same keys. The same keys are mapped to the same intents, and the same intents are converted to the same actions. Like here we have, oh, let's try this one, by the way, because I have arrow keys here as well, but I want to try it. It works the same way. I have 4 arrows, just the same as we have on the keyboard. And oh yeah, I don't have, yeah, I do have enter. So the same keys are mapped the same way in the system. And that's a good thing about it. How about Bluetooth handling? What? It doesn't matter. It's actually the same key. So your controller will have the same key codes. So it's not really Bluetooth or infrared. It's still sending key event. And this key event are actually the same. Physical keyboard, this remote, this remote, this remote, and any other remote, they have just the same arrow left, arrow right, top, bottom. So it's not a question of how you connect to it, it's a question of the key event, and key event is the same.
Have you come across any scenario where you have to think about the performance when you're using focus node?
Focus node performance is not a question. Flutter itself is the question, or rather saying Flutter widgets, because focus nodes actually recreated, reused. They're kind of lightweight the same way as widgets. What is not lightweight? Render object. And in this sense, if we are using clipping or we are using blurs, these things are making render object to re-render, recreate all the time. That's why it's super expensive. But focus node as a change notifier is like just a class which can listen and can talk to others about its state. That's pretty good. It's a different thing. It's not about performance. Thank you.
If you want any more questions, catch Vadim at the end. Otherwise, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me.